Don't visit your children in old age unless you're prepared to see the truth in their eyes, the truth that you are no longer essential, the truth that your presence, once sacred, now might be seen as an inconvenience, the truth that in their fast-paced lives your slow steps are a burden. That's a hard reality, but it's one too many elderly parents come to face and far too late. You see, we don't talk enough about the pain of being irrelevant, of being seen not as a pillar, but as an obligation. When you were young, you built your life around your children. You sacrificed for them. Sleepless nights, broken dreams, quiet suffering, and you did it because love demanded it. That was your role, your mission. And for years, perhaps decades, it gave your life a burning sense of purpose. But time passed, it grew, they became independent, and then suddenly, they didn't need you anymore, at least not in the way they used to. And here's the thing most people won't say out loud. Sometimes they don't want you around at all. Not because they hate you, not because they're bad people, but because modern life teaches people to move forward by cutting off what slows them down. And in their eyes, your age, your needs, your values, they don't quite fit into their neatly optimized world, and this is where the heartbreak begins. I've spoken to countless older individuals, some in their 60s, others in their 80s, who walk away from visits with their children feeling smaller, not larger. They return home not with warmth, but with a quiet ache in their chests because the respect, the reverence they hoped for has vanished. And I want you to think about that. I want you to feel the weight of it. You show up with his memories, maybe even a bit of advice, but you're met with sighs, glances at phones, polite smiles, masking impatience. You speak carefully, but the world around you moves faster than your words can keep up. And while you talk about the past, your children are already thinking about tomorrow and their minds are in emails, errands, kids, soccer, games, and there you are sitting on the couch, your presence barely registered. So, let me ask you, why would you subject yourself to that? I don't say this to be cruel, I say this because too many good people spend the last decades of their lives chasing crumbs of affection from children who are not equipped to understand the depth of that longing. And I'll tell you something harsh but necessary. If you don't set boundaries in your old age, you will be disrespected. Respect isn't owed simply because of your age. That's a hard truth. It should be, but it's not. In this culture, it must be commended by your presence, not begged for with guilt. You must carry yourself with dignity, not desperation. Too many elderly parents enter their children's homes as if they are seeking validation, hoping to be told, you are a good mother, a strong father, we appreciate everything. And when that validation doesn't come, when the kids are too busy or too self-absorbed, there's a silent collapse inside. And listen, you cannot place your soul in the hands of someone who hasn't earned it. Do not go to your children's house with your spirit open and unguarded, hoping for warmth. Go only when you are already whole, only when you know that your value does not hinge on the recognition of it. And this takes strength, unbelievable strength, because you spent decades nurturing those very people. You wiped their tears, you fed them with hands that now tremble, you taught them how to walk, and now they rush ahead, forgetting to wait for you. But that is the nature of life. It is ruthless in its forward motion, so you must be equally ruthless in protecting your peace. And let me tell you something personal. I have seen people crumble in old age, not because of disease, but because of disappointment, because the emotional return on the investment of parenthood was not what they imagined. They thought the later years would bring gratitude, family dinners, togetherness, and instead they were met with silence, with being ignored, or worse, with being tolerated. You are not meant to be tolerated. You are not meant to be a shadow in the background of your children's lives. If that's what they offer, then withdraw with grace. Reclaim your dignity Don't complain, don't lash out, but don't go back either. Not until they understand that your time is sacred too. You've earned the right to peace, not pity. You've earned the right to be surrounded by people who see your worth without needing to be reminded. And you know what's tragic? Many older adults keep showing up again and again, hoping things will be different. They forgive the missed birthdays, the hurried visits, the distracted conversations. They convince themselves they're just busy, it's just a phase, but deep down they know. They know they're being placed on the shelf and that shelf grows colder with every visit. There's something you need to understand. And disrespect in old age is more dangerous than loneliness, because disrespect eats at the core of your identity. It makes you question your past, it makes you wonder if all that sacrifice was worth it. And that is a poison no heart should endure. So what do? You build a life outside of them. You find community, meaning, ritual. You connect with people who listen, who value wisdom, who aren't so consumed by their own ambitions that they forget the giants whose shoulders they are standing on. You surround yourself with individuals who choose your company, not out of duty, but out of admiration. You stop being the parent chasing your child's approval, and you become the elder who demands respect, not with anger, but with presence. Speak less, watch more, and when you do speak, let your words carry weight, not volume. Wait, let silence be your ally, because silence has a way of amplifying dignity. You're not here to beg, you're not here to cling, you are here to live the final chapters of your life with power. And if your children come around, truly come around, then welcome them with warmth, with love, but not with dependence, not with emotional hunger that seeks to be fed. Remember, you are the root, not the branch. You are the foundation, not the rooftop decoration. They grew because you bent toward the sun for decades. They thrived because you bled into the soil. And if they have forgotten that, so be it. Life will teach them. Time is a brutal but effective way of revealing what truly matters. They too will grow old, and when they do, perhaps then they'll remember how you stood, how you chose solitude over subjugation, dignity over begging. There's no shame in walking away from a table where you're no longer respected. There is, however, great shame in staying in hoping, in wilting under the weight of rejection. You are not weak, you are not useless, you are the culmination of survival, of wisdom, of stories too deep for shallow minds. And your value does not expire just because others are too blind to see it. So don't visit your children if doing so means sacrificing your self-worth. Visit when your presence is honored, when your stories are welcomed, when your advice is sought, not ignored. Then visit when you are seen not just as a mom or a dad, but as a soul forged in fire, standing with quiet strength. And until then, live, find new paths, create, mentor someone younger who listens with open ears, plant a garden, write letters to yourself, laugh loudly, dance slowly, go to the library, sit under trees, make new friends, celebrate birthdays with people who remember, drink tea in silence and smile, because you no longer need to be needed to feel alive. And if this resonates with you, if you feel that ache in your chest, that realization that you've been disrespected one too many times, then let this be the moment you reclaim your power. Stop chasing the people who make you feel small. Start honoring the person who carried the weight of generations. And if your children wake up one day and say, "We miss you," then let them come to you on your terms, with your hearts in their hands. Because the truth is, you were never the problem, you were the gift. And those who can't see that don't deserve to unwrap it. Live with dignity, walk away with strength, and love yourself enough to never settle for crumbs again. If this message meant something to you, then share it with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a child, maybe it's you. But let's speak the truth even when it's uncomfortable. because truth is the beginning of healing, and you deserve that. You deserve more than silence, you deserve to be seen. So let's make that happen.